Hi, welcome to the channel. This video is about how to choose the right data metrics to test your hypothesis.
Finding the right data is one of the biggest challenges in the analytics or data science project. Using the wrong data can invalidate your entire project. Today we'll cover criteria for choosing data, ways to generate ideas for data metrics, benefits of creating data options, flagging priority data metrics, and considering data access and quality.
I'm Dr. Christy. I'm a researcher and a data science director, and I help analysts and data scientists take their career to the next level. There's really two parts to it, and you can do them in either order. The first one is you want to make sure that whatever data you pick, you're measuring that concept. A lot of times you'll see a discrepancy there where this is the concept and then the data that they're using as the metric has nothing to do with that original concept, and it's the best way to invalidate your entire project. The second thing is to make sure that it's data that's available to you. So one of the problems we run into is that you come up with this dream list of data points, but then when you start getting access to databases and looking into tables, that data doesn't exist. Or even before that, just in general, that data doesn't exist in the world because you want a unicorn. So what's the best way to do it? So first, I think it's totally fine to Google and brainstorm ideas of, in general, how do other people measure whatever it is, customer engagement or whatever metric it is? What are some common ways of measuring it? That's a great place to start. Obviously do your own brainstorming where you think it through. And then of course, stakeholders. A lot of times they're subject matter experts, SMEs, and it's great to get their input and feedback during this data phase. They know where the data is and like who you have to be nice to get access to it. So this actually captures it. There's data that you'd love to get, there's data that's available in your organization, and you're trying to find that middle space where it meets both objectives. Ultimately, one of the key factors in the success of your project is how fast you can make this happen, how fast you can work through this process and get your data. Like, data acquisition is the biggest time suckage in your project. You can literally get stuck there. Another key recommendation I have is to have options. For each concept that you're trying to measure, you have a couple of different data points that could work. And then when it's time to look at your organization and see what data is available, you can iterate through those. Your goal is to have at least one, right? But if you have many, then you can at least find one that works for your project. The other thing related to options is not only do you want different measures for your data concept, but you want to have different paths forward. You want to flag in your list of data metrics, like which ones are key, priority, crucial ones that you can't move forward without, and which ones are nice to have. If you get them, it's awesome, but if not, you can move forward. A lot of times, one particular data point gets stuck somewhere. If it's something that you want, but you don't need it, you just move forward if you don't have it by a certain date. Of course, have an overall timeline where you have these milestones. And if you don't get data by a certain date, you either move forward without it or you put this project on pause and go do something else that's useful. Because the problem of getting stuck is it just gets into your productivity and you end up not getting as much done. And you have all these like sucky projects in your portfolio, and who wants that? One thing to consider is data access and quality. With data access, especially if you're like at a large, complex organization, it can take, sometimes you need like 10 people to approve the data access request. You want to make sure that you know how to usher those requests along and push it along. That's another reason why you want to know which pieces of data you need and which ones you don't, because if you can move forward without it and it's stuck somewhere, then just don't worry about it. The other piece is the data quality. Even after you've gone through this process where you have a concept, you found good metrics that would measure it, you go to the database, you're so glad you finally have this data that's on your computer and you can do your project, but when you get into it, the data's trash. Like, the quality of it is terrible. So that's another reason why you want to have different options, because if one doesn't work, you have another one. It gives you flexibility built into your project. It means you can execute on a timeline and actually get your projects done. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Our next video in this series is going to be about how do you actually choose the analysis and modeling approach that you want to take in keeping with your hypothesis, the use case, and all that. So I'll see you there.